Good evening. Happy Sunday. It is a pleasure to get to be here with you. If we haven't met before, my name is Kay. I am an ecstatic spiritual life coach, and I try to set aside time every Sunday evening to gather together to do some meditative work and to connect deeply within. So thank you for taking some time out of your very busy life to be here, and I hope this helps you on your journey. So please, let's begin by finding a comfortable seat. You can sit in a chair or on the floor. You can lay down. Please do whatever will make you feel relaxed and at ease. And as you begin your practice today, you can work eyes open, eyes closed. You can gaze on the floor, at a candle, just softly into the distance, whatever works for you. Notice the course that your breath takes as you inhale and exhale. Notice the flow into your sinus cavity, into your throat, into your lungs. And just take a moment to notice and marvel at the fact that in that but a few seconds in which we fill our lungs, it's not the same air that we exhale, that our body does this amazing thing, switching out the air molecules that we inhaled for those that we are exhaling. The air that comes in is not the air that comes out. Like, just notice how awesome that is, how crazy that is. I think it's one of the things we so undervalue. It's just the amazingness that is our bodies. Like how they do what they do, how our heart beats, how our lungs work, how the hair follicles grow on our head and skin. Like it's absolutely amazing. So take just a moment to appreciate and notice how you respirate. Be grateful for having these amazing, well-functioning body parts. Like, how cool. And as you breathe and as you appreciate your capacity for breath, see if you can invite the breath to just deepen, to slow down a little. About 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Now you might be able to hear my breath right now. I'm doing a pranayama, a breath pattern called Ujjayi, or victorious breath. It's a slight restriction with the vocal cords. Almost like you're trying to fog up a mirror, but with your lips closed. If you feel like trying that with me, don't overdo it, just nice and easy. It can help you tune in to how is your breath going. notice how the breath sounds a little bit like the tide coming in and out. Notice the flowing quality of the breath. Notice how amazing it feels just to breathe. How powerful, just in and of itself, that is, just to breathe. And as you continue your breathing, I want to invite you to stop thinking about the breath as being the literal exchange of molecules, as awesome as that is. I want to invite you to also view it as the intake and outtake of life force. Some call it prana, the energy that arrives with the breath. And we can go days without food, even a couple days without water, but we can only go for a very short while without breath. It is our connection to life. And the interesting thing is, the slower we breathe, the longer we tend to live. Like, think of a dog. I love my little Galileo, my puppy, but he breathes generally pretty quickly, and his lifespan's going to be considerably shorter than mine. Fingers crossed. Who knows? We jokingly say he'll live to be 100. Doubt it, but who knows? And then you compare that with like the breath of a Galapagos tortoise, who I think can take up to a full minute to inhale and a full minute to exhale, and they live well over 100 years. By slowing down our breath, we increase our longevity. And we respect and honor the breath, the vayu, for the nourishment they give us, for the life that the breath gives us. What do you notice about your breath when you really take the time to breathe? It's so interesting because, like a lot of our body systems, we don't get the choice of whether they operate automatically or deliberately. Your heart will always be beating. You can't mentally stop it unless you reach like a very deep level of yogic mastery, which I do not claim to have. Your body will always digest food without your direct instruction. Theoretically, your body will never just start walking without your active instruction, although I know I have at least one nighttime rambler on class tonight. But the breath can go either way. It will work without our conscious attention. It will work differently with our conscious attention. And isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? It can go either way. And what that duality with our connection to the breath says to me is that, yes, it can just be this thing that sustains your life, or it can be this thing that opens up your gateways to something so much more. And we've been doing some deep breathing for a few minutes now, so tell me, are you feeling a shift? Are you feeling something change? Some tingling, some vibrations, some joy, some emotions, some letting go? Do you feel something shift? I remember being a young person, I think I was in first grade, so about 6 years old. I'm just like staring up at the counting charts on the wall because we were learning to count to like 500, something like that. And as I was doing it, I just became keenly aware of watching myself breathe. And as I did this like overwhelming, like orgasmic, soul-shifting, clouds twirling sort of experience washed over me. It was the first time I ever consciously, or maybe it happened before, but I remember having that experience of the breath transporting me. I mean, you could devote a whole sadhana, a whole spiritual path just to working with the breath. And it's what the yogicum of pranayama is all about. There are 7 traditional pranayamas that we use for purifying and opening the body, and this is one of them, Ujjayi. So what do you feel? And it's okay if nothing. That's okay too. If you're feeling up for it, we're going to add in something called kumbhaka. Now, sometimes when you're in deep meditation, you'll reach this point where the breathing just stops on its own, where you enter a true state of perfect stillness. No moving in your mind, no moving in your body, no movement in your breath. You can just hold there. So we're going to mimic that a little bit. So we're going to try and inhale for about 6 seconds. We're going to hold for about 2 seconds. And then we're going to exhale again for about 6 seconds. You can choose to hold at the bottom if you want, or you can choose to just go right back onto the inhale. So counting for yourself, about 6 seconds in, hold, 2 seconds, 6 seconds out, hold, or go right back into the inhale. Try this with me. How do you feel? Let go of trying to actively do anything with the breath and just come back into simple observation of where you are and how you're feeling. And after those few minutes of effort, notice if you feel a sense of release now. Do you feel a letting go? Like, oh, it's just so nice to let my body breathe the way it wants to breathe. Now, if you've been here for a few minutes, you heard that we were talking about really appreciating the mechanism of our breath and appreciating how fabulous these bodies are that we've been given. So I want to take us into an exploration of thanking our bodies for the amazing things that they do. And so we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way down. So you can use your hands to draw your focus to where we're talking about, or you can just keep your hands on your lap. Meditator's choice, up to you. All right, so eyes closed, eyes open, doesn't matter. Take your focus up to the top of your head, the crown. Take a moment to appreciate your skull. Appreciate how it keeps your brain protected. It's like a built-in helmet. Isn't that nice? I mean, there are creatures out there without skeletal systems that their whole body is just gooey. I don't know about you, but I bump into things far too often to want to have my brain exposed to the outside. So grateful for my skull, grateful for that I got all this hair on my head that keeps my skull protected too. A little extra cushion, keeps me warm. I'm grateful for my eyebrows that keep dust out of my eyes. I'm grateful for these eyes that I can see, these amazing organs that let me take in the visible spectrums of light so I can see where I'm going, so I can navigate the world, so I can appreciate beauty, so I can look at my husband and smile and say, you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen in the planet. It's a good thing. I love that. I'm grateful for my nose. They say scent is the strongest memory, that I walk into a space and can connect to it through scent, that I can develop awareness through scent of, is food healthy to eat or not? Doesn't my body or someone else's body smell well? I'm grateful for all my facial muscles that allow me to smile and communicate emotion, that I can reinforce my thoughts with my facial expressions. I'm grateful for my mouth, my teeth, my tongue, to be able to taste and chew food, to break up pieces of vegetable and meat into smaller chunks with my teeth. My tongue not only tastes, but it does all these amazing things, allowing me to speak and communicate. My lips too, my palate. How cool. I'm grateful for my ears, to hear, to sense, to appreciate music and conversation, to hear the sounds of the natural world, sounds of birds and rustling grass. I'm going to appreciate my facial stubble because it's just cool and I like it. It's good enough reason, right? Just the joy of having it there. appreciate my neck. Allows me to turn my head to see. I appreciate my chest. Allows me to push things, lift things. Grateful for my shoulders, my arms. Carry, push, pull, hold. I get to hug my partner every night. I get to hug my dog when he lets me. That sensation of touch on my skin. I'm grateful for my hands and all the amazing things that they do to write, to type, to pick up an apple and eat it, to touch someone else and to connect through touch. I'm grateful for my back. It keeps me upright. Allows me to carry heavy loads. There's a phrase I love: we should all strive to have strong backs and soft fronts. I love that one. Soft heart, soft belly, strong back. Speaking of which, I'm grateful for my belly. Holds my food, lets me digest. Sometimes it's a little bit bigger than I like, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm grateful for my hips. Let me bend over, let me walk, let me dance. I'm grateful for my generative organs, the pleasure they give me, the fun, the source of connection with other human beings. I'm grateful for my legs. Gosh, they do so much work. They carry me around all day, and even without even thinking them. My feet. They walked on some stony grounds, these feet, but they still do it. Gosh, I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for all the internal organs. My heart that keeps beating, my intestines, my kidneys, my liver, my pancreas, my thyroid. All of them. All the trillions of cells that have to combine and work in harmony to keep me alive every day. Gosh, it's fantastic. The amount of coordination is amazing. The amount of growth that had to happen to get me from being something so little tiny to something over 6 feet tall. My goodness. We are truly amazing. It's so amazing to have these bodies, to have these lives. And yet we so often take them for granted. We so often wish they were different because they don't look like the picture in the magazines. I'll tell you, the people in the magazines don't even actually look like the people in the magazines in real life. They add some help. These are magnificent mechanisms that we walk around in. And have you told yours thank you lately? Have you expressed your gratitude for your amazing machine that you roll around in? No innovation compares. You have the choice between a human body and an iPhone. Human body wins every time for all the stuff it can do. And This is the thing. Hopefully you're connecting with that. Hopefully you're connecting with that gratitude. When was the last time you heard somebody in a conversation say, God, I love my body. Gosh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all the amazing things my body can do. I can't tell you the last time I heard anybody say that in conversation. But I can sure as hell name the last time I heard somebody complain about a backache, about not being fit enough, about getting old and droopy and saggy and cottage cheesy. Why? Why is it not societally normal or acceptable for us to walk up and say, God, I'm just so grateful for my body today. I feel beautiful, I feel healthy, I feel strong, I feel whatever, and I'm grateful. Why don't we do that? Why do we just bitch and complain and moan and compare? And that's the thing, comparing sucks so much. I mean, I go to the gym almost every day. And I, like a lot of people, yes, exactly, Steve. I, like a lot of people, compare myself to other people there. And especially, I notice guys who are super jacked, most of whom are taking steroids. And not that I'm going to poo-poo that decision, right? Like, that's a choice you can make, you know, as long as you know the risks, you know the detriments. But it's not a decision I make. And this is something I'll be talking about in an upcoming video this week. Is I choose to have as healthy of a natural body as I can because I want to value longevity. I want to value wellness over appearance. And the people who look the most fit, the people who look the most beautiful are not necessarily the most well. We see the number of bodybuilders who have heart attacks by age 40. We see the number of models with eating disorders and mental and emotional issues. Like, everybody should be celebrated. Everybody. Because they are amazing. And we should also, conversely, take care of them. Right? We honor them by exercising and moving them. By keeping them in good shape. We appreciate them. But that thanks, that joy, that pleasure should start from within. So if you fell out of your meditation, come back to it now. I want you to turn your focus within yourself. Focus on what it's like to be inside of you. And the joy that comes from being inside of you. Maybe not initially. Maybe some of you find it very deeply uncomfortable to be inside yourself. I hear that. Trauma knocks us out of our bodies. And then we have to fight to get back in. So come back home. Come back inside of you and relish the experience of being you. Bulgy bits and all. Weird bits and all. Malfunctioning bits and all. It's still pretty damn amazing. So I'm going to give you a few moments of silence. And just sit here and be in and with yourself. Without judgment, without censure, but with gratitude and a simple heart. Just be here with you. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. is it to be you? How is it to be in you, of you, through you, around you? How is it to be with yourself? You are where you are, and where you are is perfect. It doesn't mean we don't try to change and grow and develop healthier relationships with our bodies, our minds, ourselves, our siblings, our brothers and sisters and others on this planet, but it has to start with contentment of being where we are to begin with, and then going from there. So I hope this exploration on breath and body has been helpful for you today. This practice of embodiment, of coming home to your physical self. It's something I encourage all of us to explore more often, to celebrate these amazing vehicles we've been given. Because no matter how limited, they are still a blessing. There are many schools of thought that say so many entities, so many spirits would kill to have even the weakest human body. Just how valuable these are. So cherish yours, respect yours. You worked probably very hard to get a human incarnation this time around. So celebrate that. It's a pleasure to be here with you. My name's Kay. If you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out via email or social media. You can join us on Patreon. You can check out my book, work with me one-on-one. The questions aren't painful, it's the answers. Interesting. Maybe you're not asking the right questions. Perhaps. Thank you all for your time. It is our most precious resource. Once you give it away, you'll never get it back. And unlike money, you can't earn any more. You've got what you've got. So the fact that you wanted to share some of your time with me is very precious. I hope it was well spent. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.